So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So, I've only pulled Burgess so far, so I thought I'd give him a go and showcase as much of his qualities as possible. As you see, Burgess needs one Blackbeard pirate for his super type, so that's what I built this team around. And you also can build a fighter focused team, so I decided to do a not mono fighter but mostly fighter team, and also using a Blackbeard pirate as a sub. But the challenge was the one I decided to hybrid Burgess up with for this video, which is a unit I mentioned in my deep dive for Burgess that you could team up with, which is 6+ Gear 5 Luffy, who is fighter, so he works with Burgess. So Luffy wants all colors to do rainbow damage to enemies, and he needs 3 straw hats to get his EX, so we're going to do that. We're going to do a fighter-focused Straw Hat Pirates team, and also add 1 Blackbeard Pirate for Burgess. And I chose Van Ogre, mostly because he has the ability to give the enemies damage reduction, so I can showcase one of Burgess' abilities, and also let him get a 3-turn attack boost and chain boost with his special. So yeah, let's jump into it. We're taking on Luffy 2. So every unit on this team is a fighter, except for the Nami. I just needed something for the death up and the paralysis, and this Nami with carry support handles both of that. She also adds a lot of damage with her level limit break and nice Orban nip, so I'm going to use her for that one stage as well. But yeah, it's pretty fun how this works. Like, we have the Van Ogre, which lets Burgess use his super, and then we have 3 straw hats for Luffy to use his super. We have mostly fighters, so that everybody are boosted, and we also have all colors, so we can use Luffy as well as the Germa ship, which is probably my favorite ship in the game to use in general. So yeah, a nice little Lafitte support to remove the bind. And yeah, one nice thing with Luffy is that he always has matching orbs when you have all color teams. And since Luffy also does rainbow damage, that's huge in terms of consistency. But yeah, we're going to start trying out the Burgess strat here. So we start with Van Ogre, and if the enemy does not have damage reduction, then you use Van Ogre special. You apply it to the enemy, it's so dumb. So now we have a 6-turn damage reduction on this stage, and when we use Burgess now, he will reduce it to 0. We were wondering if he could go through full immunity, but this confirms he can, which makes him a lot better, I must say, and potentially useful outside of Blackbeard hybrid teams. So yeah, we also have an attack boost and chain boost that we keep for the next stage, and we're going to do some silly overkill here. Robin to remove the special bind, and then we use Luffy just to get matching orbs. He also adds an increased damage taken to Caesar, like he was already dying. Now I can just overkill him in 1 hit with Luffy. Instead, I'm going to do a very little damage next stage. Like, I could use Luffy here, but I wanted to use his special final stage just for extra damage. I don't think it was needed, but it's fun to do a lot of damage final stage. So the only buff we have here is the chain lock, which is pretty low, and then super type from Luffy. But it's enough, we do enough damage, and this is just a fun showcase, so it works for me. Will recommend to do that yourself, but yeah, here we're going to showcase one of Burgess' niche abilities with his super. So his super is actually super bad, but one thing it does is remove his own slot bind, and in cases like this, it's good to remove it. He might as well have potential ability to remove it, but what can you do? He also gives some base attack boost, so sure. Then Nami here, so we get some matching orbs, and we get a nice orb boost and color affinity. And Luffy doesn't have a matching orb for once, but we can finish treble off with the Burgess and Van Ogre. So yeah, Sanjay's for this stage. We're going to remove the damage reduction, also get a nice color affinity boost for the team. And we still have the base attack boost from the super of Burgess. We're going to have to stall a bit here. Burgess needs 2 turns of stall at this stage, but I'm going to stall 3 turns because we actually need to use Robin again, so she needs 3 turns of stall. So that's what I'm doing. I actually limit expanded Robin just for this team because I couldn't bother remaking it because she lacked 1 CD and she got 1 CD from Limerick expansion, so not much to think about for me. Like, I'll do Limerick expansions like that if they're needed to make a team work a lot of the time. Because there's a limit to how much you can stall there, and we've reached the limit, and as you see, now Robin is perfectly ready for next stage. And the pretty fun thing with this team is the fact that it's basically a 5-unit team because Fun Ogre does so little on this team. He's just here to enable the Burgess memes, basically. So yeah, we're using Fun Ogre again. And as we know, he applies damage reduction to the enemy if they don't have any. But he also applies resistance to the enemy. And he also gives you the timer buff, so you can also apply resistance on the next stage. That's some decent extra damage. He also gives a base attack boost, and if you already have a base attack boost, like from Burgess Super, he can buff it by like plus 500, I think it is. So it's just some nice extra damage. But yeah, we're doing the combo again. And this time I'm going to showcase the fact that Burgess, under these conditions, when the enemy has a damage reduction or threshold 6 turn or higher, you get the unremovable attack boost for 3 turns. So when we try to enter next stage, Luffy will delete our buffs, but he won't be able to remove this 3-turn attack boost, so that obviously helps a lot. The sad thing with Burgess, his main flaw in my opinion is the fact that his chain boost can be removed, and for me that's just very bad synergy in his kit. In my opinion, it should not be possible to be removed, but that's the cards Bandai have dealt, so what can we do? And yeah, Luffy buffs the attack boost to 3.25 times, also gives an orb boost, increases the value of orbs, and you see we almost won a KO through the death up with Luffy. Did not expect that. I was trying to set up the final tap for Burgess, and there it is. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.